Coming up here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports, we want to talk about the Derrick White possible contract extension that could be coming later this summer. I think Derrick White is a player that absolutely deserves to be paid more. I think he's a player that's elevated his playing style, and he's one of those guys that if he played for anybody else, I would probably hate him. But because he plays for the Boston Celtics, I'm really glad he's on our team, man. He's a guy you just can't not like. He's got a contagious energy about him. He's just a team player. He's really encapsulated the Bostonian type of way of living. And Derrick White is a phenomenal ball player, and that's why I think he should be extended. But let's talk about the ins and the outs, right? Because it's a business. And just because I want Derrick White to retire in Boston doesn't mean the funds are there, doesn't mean that's going to be in the cards. But we do hope it is, because sources say that Derrick White is now eligible for a 4-year, $126 million contract extension. Here's what Brian Robb had to say from Mass Live on Derrick White, saying, Boston will very much be open to a White contract extension per league sources this summer, despite the looming financial challenges, because those financial challenges come with having already the highest paid player in the NBA on your roster, and then going to make the next highest paid player in the NBA still on your roster in Tatum and Brown. But here's why they're now going to possibly talk about a contract extension this summer, is because in 2024-25, Derrick White will make $20 million. But then after that, he's an unrestricted free agent. So normally when you have a player like White, you want to lock him down before that free agency starts to loom over his head towards the end of 2025 season. He's proven he's worth an extension. And the good news is that we do still have Derrick White for another year. So if this summer is the summer of Tatum, and they got to figure out the financial stability to be able to extend the face of your franchise in Jayson Tatum, they do still have Derrick White, and who's to say a contract can't come in the middle of the 2024-25 NBA season. So we do still have Derrick White for another year. He's locked in, ready to go for the 2024-25 season. But if Boston does offer a 4-year contract extension to White after Tatum's Supermax, which you guys have seen, it's going to be somewhere near $125 million 4-year extension for White, a 5-year, $315 million extension for Tatum. They would owe players $200 million in the 2025-26 season. But he's a bald-headed god, man. I mean, this dude, bald-headed Derrick White, changed lives. He is now an NBA champion. He's a 2-time all-defensive second team. You know, the argument could be had that a guard should have been on the NBA first team, and could have been Derrick White for sure. He led the NBA in blocks for players under 6'4", and he's a potential Team USA injury replacement for Paul George. So Derrick White's been having a phenomenal year, and even his accolades have just spoken for themselves. And here's what Brad Stevens had to say on Derrick White during the regular season here of the NBA, saying, "We'd love to have Derrick as long as we can have Derrick. I haven't been in this job too long, but that one doesn't feel like brain surgery to me. If we can keep Derrick White around here, that's probably a good idea." Like I said, you know, he's been in commercials for Boston. It's Sam Adams, you know, stuff like that. He's just really encapsulated what it means to live in Boston. His family's here. He's now brought a championship to this city. He tried to help them by forcing it to a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2023. Derrick White deserves to play for the best team in the NBA, and that's the Boston Celtics. So my question to you guys is, think Boston should extend Derrick White? Type Y for yes, type in for no in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the bald-headed god that is Derrick White. And as always, get your championship gear, man. They just won the NBA Finals last week. I know it feels like years ago at this point, but chatsports.com/NBA champs. That's going to get you guys this really, really great shirt here. Champions Boston Celtics is what the players were wearing when they were hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy for the first time in the air. You guys can get hats, shirts, sweatshirts, sweatpants, shorts, whatever you guys want to rock. They've got it for you, but I highly suggest using this link. chatsports.com/NBA champs. Go on ahead and get your 2024 NBA Champions gear right now. Evan Sidery coming in here. The Celtics signing Derrick White to a long-term deal is a huge priority this offseason per Woj. Boston can offer White up to a 4-year, $126 million deal. So Woj has already hinted at a Jayson Tatum contract extension, saying that is pretty much already on the docket for them to do this season. But now a huge priority, Brad Stevens already said it, for as long as we can have Derrick White, we want Derrick White. So they're going to treat him with the utmost respect in this offseason, because they're not going to have any kind of bad beef there with you paid Tatum, you're not going to pay White. And the latest report here from Mark Stein reported White is expected to seek a contract extension with Boston this summer, according to league sources. So they seem on the same page here. If Woj is saying Boston has a huge priority to offer White an extension, and Derrick White is saying, hey, look, I'm seeking that big payday, then I feel like a deal is going to come. Pay the man. Pay the man. He has increased his abilities, his playing style. He's a defensive menace and an offensive god. Derrick White is a phenomenal two-way player. He can score at all three levels. He's the spark you need for the Boston Celtics here. Pay the man. When I say he elevated his play this season, it's an understatement. He proved to be an efficient two-way player and a clutch performer, man. Because let me tell you, Tatum was not my favorite player in the clutch this season. Derrick White has and always will be. You saw it against the Pacers in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals, draining that three in the corner in front of the Pacers bench. Come on, man. It's right there. The box score says it all. Let Derrick White retire in Boston. Let him play for the next 4 years on that contract extension. But like I said, it's all about business. Boston has to be careful about tax penalties as well. You're going to have two of the highest paid player in the NBA, possibly on your team, is sending Jayson Tatum, and then you got Derrick White. You already gave Drew Holiday a 4-year contract extension. What about Tingus Pingus? Will he be the next guy up? So there's a lot of moving parts here when it comes to taxes and hitting that luxury tax line and salaries and stuff that I'm not very good at math, so I'm not even going to try and pretend like I know what's going on. They could make a deal towards the end of the 2024-25 season. I just don't like it. I don't like it being pushed out that far. I think Derrick White is a player that I would sign right now, and if it is a huge priority for the Boston Celtics to do so alongside Jayson Tatum, well, it now makes me wonder who's going to get this contract extension first. I think it's going to be Tatum. What do you guys think? Go on ahead and type JT, type DW for your pick. I think Jayson Tatum is probably going to be the first one up here for the contract extension with Derrick White, possibly more towards the end of the summer, but it could also just depend on agents. It could depend on, Brad Stevens and what they want to offer and stuff like that. So comment who you guys want to be up first in the comment section below. As always, hit that sub button for me if you guys have not already. Free agency is looming. Contract extensions are a possibility, and the offseason is here. If you guys want everything and all things on your Boston Celtics, go on ahead, hit that sub button for me, and go Boston Celtics.